Thank you so much, Cosmi, for this introduction. Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see such a crowd. So I would like to invite Milena from The Edge and Michel from Blackfin to join us for this panel. In venture, we talk about the pattern recognition, and in fintech, data becomes a pattern. So let's talk about this today. So first, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Ladies first.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here. I am, in my capacity as a co-founder, both an entrepreneur and also an investor, co-founder of The Edge, which is research and business development. It's a company that supports the commercialization of technology for academia and brings a bridge between universities and academia researchers and the market. One of the real I think challenges for innovation in Europe has been how to transform this great intellectual output and research that we have into innovation products, into creating an opportunity to solve some of the societal challenges. And this is the reason for what we've been doing. I was also, I call myself a policypreneur. Why I say this is because I was recently a Minister for Innovation and Growth in Bulgaria. And one of my targets was also to support what was just told, the startup and scale-up strategy for Europe. How to use the startup potential and scale-up potential, the open innovation potential in creating more competitiveness and more opportunities for quick transformation of certain industries. And the last point is I am setting up a Luxembourg-based VC fund to invest in early-stage deep tech. And this is very much relevant to that strategy.
Yeah, and you know very well the fintech industry.
My name is Michele, and I'm a managing director at Blackfin. I'm part of Blackfin for 7 years. And basically, we are a fund that invests in fintech across Europe with two strategies. One is private equity buyout, and the other one is venture capital. I sit in the venture capital side. And we typically do investing across Europe with, Series A, Series B. I would say we are a competitor of Truffle.
No, we collaborate together.
Let's say we collaborate and compete in certain opportunities. That's it on my end. I've been doing this for now it's 9 years. And prior to joining Blackfin, I was leading the corporate venture arm of UniCredit, which is a large banking group in Italy.
Thank you so much. So when you hear data-driven investing, what does it mean for you in practice?
So data used to be, used as a form to, it's about metrics. It's how you track certain behavior. But I think for us, at least the way we are looking at it, especially in deep tech and also for early stage, is to interpret also some meaning related to how companies are able to use, let's say, predictive analytics for certain trends, how they're able to find talent, how also they are able then to transform into market opportunities.
It's a hard question. Data-driven means you use data to underwrite opportunities, and I think that's always been the case for ages since venture exists. Lately, there's been a bit of a buzzword because we can make use of data thanks to LLMs, but not only. And can we use, let's say, big data from social media, from in general the web, to predict, score, and support the investment process. And that's probably what it means, at least to us, and how we use it, for example, at BlackFin. I think the end goal would be to have a platform that actually merge your data, your internal stack of data, with the external data, because otherwise external data is not a competitive edge. You need to gather alternative data that you own. Otherwise, everybody will invest in the same thing, typically. And that's what I think at the end goal, probably what it means to us is a unified platform internally to treat data, both external signal and internal signal, with scoring and weights that allows you to potentially, optimize your investment process at different stages, from sourcing to investing to portfolio management.
Yeah. It's the topic so much evolving, and when we talk about data and AI that we implement to deal sourcing, investing, and portfolio management, but how do you see it in 3-5 years? In your opinion, will it change, improve? Do you use it, and you think that it will change completely?
To me, if I could give just a perspective, data has become a buzzword, and also data management seems to be, in a way, the edge when you talk that you're applying it, and then using AI on top of it. But data could be really critical, and AI for Europe. One big reason is how to bring all of these different insights from the different markets and from the different players into one common space, and how to create maybe a single market, both in sourcing and then in portfolio management, that could support the investors as well as the founders. And to me, one way we could really use it is by augmenting what we have been, the investment has been needing. So because investment and in general VCs, venture capital investment has been much more network-based. And now it can become a combination of supporting this network with also some evidence or clear metrics, platform united. And so we can create that symbiosis between the two and make it both network, but also predictive in a way, based using the data. Smarter, if we could say, using then the insights from the human intelligence to support that.
For me, and in 3-5 years, probably nothing will change. I mean, I don't see like huge changes, let's say, in the way we work compared to today, in the sense that AI, it's already there. We might have some, say, agents that do a part of our job. I think what's gonna, for me, it's the questions that I've always asked myself are, in 3-5 years, what the industry will need, in terms of, for example, will VC as we are, will be the same profile that we're looking today? Or are we looking for people that are way more data driven, that are, potentially shaping, capable of interpreting data better than we do typically? Another.
Are you also afraid that AI will come, ChatGPT, and will do the investment?
I don't think we are there. That's why I don't think we are there in 5 years. An AI bot will algo trade VCs. At the end of the day, I think VCs remains very much a relationship type of business. The point is the way the person, because for me the hybrid solution is human plus technology will probably be the case in this industry. The point is, how the human will look like. It's not how the technology will look like, how the human will look like. I need to do a job, I need to be able to interpret data, I need to use what data I need to call. Maybe I need also to multitask in a different way. If I've got agents that do my job or part of my job, my job completely changes. It's not me anymore. I'm coordinating someone.
But it will become even more critical to have people who are aware of how to use the data and at the same time
100%.
be able to evaluate what this means. Because this is, in general, finance and fintech was one of the first sectors that was disrupted. If you look at the stock exchange, was one of the first ones was that was automated. And then there was a big resistance related to trust with the other players in the financial sector. So I think in a similar way, maybe this is what's going to happen.
And I completely agree. And if you look at finance, like equity market, now there are quants, right? Like highly data expert people. And I think what we are doing, for example, at BlackFin, we are hiring the first resource. We're going to hire the first resource that does data analytics. So indeed, the hiring target over time will change because you need to exploit and you need to interpret data at the end of the day.
So for you, human instinct still will count because it's a lot of also about the feeling,
But I've already said, for me, 100%, it will remain. The point is how we blend with technology helping and supporting. So at the end of the day, I mean, there might be funds that underwrite and do investments blind and say, okay, this is the term sheet. I didn't speak with the founder. I didn't see anything, but by my, let's say, data, I do this. There are a handful today, but I think there's going to be space for different VC models. There's relationship-based funds, and I think at the end of the day, when you talk to VCs and you ask, what is the metric that that it's the most important? And there's always team. How do you evaluate team?
Yeah. You mentioned also data analytics profile analysts. Do you do everything internally or do you buy some, there's plenty of data providers for such?
Well, it depends very much. It depends from the size of the fund, I think, and the resources that the funds have. I don't think, for example, we are in a position to hire 5, 6 developers to do all the job, at least for our funds. There are funds like, mega funds like Andreessen Horowitz, Sequoia. They have probably army of people that do technology. So they will definitely build. For what it comes to us, there's going to be probably a mix of buy and build. So we will buy data, build something internally. Typically scoring, you keep it internally. And what you do outside is you source data out of it.
There are already some very specialized companies that are working on developing this type of platforms to manage portfolio using data analytics, using AI agents. But I think it's just like with all of the other sectors. Now there is a huge buzz about AI. It's become very fashionable. And it enters this space as well. Soon there will be, maybe in 2 years at the most, there will be good models to use. However, I think the most critical part will still stay with the trust. And this is where it's important to keep the human element and the empathy, because we know that investment is also very much about trust. Okay. And how you do that.
Yeah, it seems that we are run out of time. So the last question.
It's like a last question. We can go because we are a little bit in advance, but let's do it.
Yeah, so we are talking about soon unicorns. What, in your opinion, like if you would like to highlight one thing, what counts the most, to identify the soon unicorns, and maybe it's different across borders, like you come from Bulgaria, you from France, like how you see it?
I come from Bulgaria, but I am actually working on the EU level. And I think one of the ways you can start looking at soonicorns or unicorns will be the ones that are able to pivot after having received feedback, or maybe to grow. And also how they're able to be more international, more global. I think it's been, especially with fintech, it's been a lot about single ecosystems or markets that are within borders, within one country. And the most important part would be how you start developing products that would be valid for the whole of Europe. We want to encourage this. We heard what the also European Commission and EAC is doing with this encouragement, with this startup and scale-up strategy. I just want to make one reference here to a project that I am also very much involved. It's called Her Fund. It's building a similar network like you've been building between female founders and investors. And I think there's a great opportunity because we're just about to finish this first project and we're into a second one, which is called Scale Her. So it's both about startups and scale-ups, but this time with a focus on diversity. And there could be very good synergy between what FINE has done in preparing this platform for investment, connect it to this, and then try to support also more diversity in this market. It will be related also to more diversity in sectors. So look at the economic opportunity to have more female founders and investors involved in this space, but as well as more cross-sector work, especially with the, let's say, complexity and deep tech coming into place nowadays.
Yeah. And BlackFin, how do you spot
I will be
unicorn?
very, very short. I think for us is when product quality is established and hiring pace of salespeople pick up. So this is the data point I will typically look if you look at the data. So say product let's say on G2 reviews of product shows product is stable and good, and then hiring pace of S&M, so sales and marketing ramps up. Those when they collide typically. There's good things that happen.
Seems very complicated, but
I thought
I thought
it's
go across borders. Then it would be important.
I agree.
My hope was if I see a startup in which the founder wears a hat, then it's a unicorn. Yeah. So thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you very much for being here.